Hello and welcome to Game Over Here, the video game podcast created by gamers for gamers, with your hosts Leon.
Dave.
Snowbeard himself.
Oh yeah, and we have a strange face with us this week.
We have an interloper.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't have to call him a strange face. That's not very nice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I
like-
get that all the time. So
You
don't
know.
worry.
For joining us from across the pond, we've got behind the YouTube channel Corn Shack Gaming, Mark Davis.
Hi, how's it doing?
Yeah, man. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm still kind of waking up. I was up till like 7 my time a.m. It's now 2 in the afternoon working reviews, YouTubing, all that good stuff. So
Oh,
I'm
good
still
man.
waking up.
Yeah, no, I think I saw that you. Yeah, didn't you get like a video out today as such?
I got 4 reviews done this week. 2 days ago, and then 2 yesterday. So
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
As someone who makes videos every now and then, I feel your pain.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
it's-
mean, like we do
it's
that.
usually not. It's usually not playing the game. It's always the editing and all that stuff afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Half an
definitely.
hour of gameplay, or like it's something that turns into 2 hours of gameplay, and then it's like 2 days of editing it. And
Exactly.
So, I mean, Mark, how did you kind of get into this sort of YouTubing vibe?
Well, I've been on YouTube now for almost 9 years fully.
Wow, that's
my-
crazy, dude.
Like, I'll be going into my 10th year. Like, you know how that I always weird with like anniversaries because like how many years, whatever. But yeah, this will be going into my 10th year. October 27th was the date. But yeah, basically I got involved doing YouTube. I saw like a post on Game FAQs that was like, oh, I'm doing something called Let's Plays. Some random guy. I'm like, I have no idea what this is because this is like 9 years ago. And I was like, oh, that's what that is. I can do that. So I started doing it for fun. And then like the last couple of years, I decided to kind of like do it and try to do it as a business. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. And my channel is really much different now than, of course, it was when I was just messing around pretty much with retro video game playthroughs.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like, just sort of talking about retro video gameplay. I mean, I can see quite a collection sort of building up there in the background. I mean,
Yeah,
what's going on there, man? Like...
oh, that's only a small portion. I mean, it goes all the way down.
Oh
and,
wow, that's amazing.
and
That's
it's
right.
it's all the way.
Okay, here's-
It's my collection's like
yours-
4,000.
Okay, hold on.
What were you doing,
I-
David?
Yeah.
Is that your collection?
Yeah. And then that's it. That's mine.
Oh dear.
Brilliant. I mean, what kind of things you got there, man? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say like catalog everything right
Yeah,
now.
no.
I mean,
It's- I have pretty much every genre and every system. I mean, there's only a couple of consoles I don't own. I don't have a lot of the computer systems, so that's like my big thing I'm missing
yeah.
as far as my collection goes. Like I finally got a VIC-20 and a Commodore 64 in the last year or
Oh,
so.
nice.
But like I'm still missing a lot of the really cool stuff. I don't have the Amiga and stuff like that. It's sometimes hard to get a hold of those things nowadays.
Mm.
But yeah, as far as my collection goes, it's you name it, I got at least something of the system. I'm one of probably the few people that can say they have multiple Atari Jaguars.
Wow.
I don't
Why
have.
would you want more than one?
I don't. Just one of those things I ended up with over the years. You buy so much stuff, and the funny thing is, all the shelves and stuff. It's not even nearly all of it. I have like giant totes in my back that are filled with games that I just don't have the shelf space for yet.
That's amazing. I mean, what kind of like begun this love of like video gaming for you?
I've been actually gaming since I was like able to physically hold a controller. Basically, my parents, when I was like a 2-year-old, was like, "Oh, here's a controller, mess with it," and I started playing from that point on, and I haven't put the controller down since.
Nice.
I mean,
It's the same controller.
yeah, you know what? I wish I had that. I wish they should just encapsulate it in like gold or something and put it in a museum one day. But no. But yeah, no. So I've been doing that since I've been playing games since I was like 2, and then I started game collecting as like a full-time hobby back about 10 years or so ago. Like, or actually, it was more than 10 now. Like, I was right in high school,
Yeah.
I'm
Oops.
old. I'm getting old, so now my years like, oh, 10 years ago. Oh no, that's really like 12 now.
Sorry, I do apologise about that. My two cats were trying to kill each other.
Oh, it happens. I understand. I got cats
Nice.
too. I totally get it.
What's your most prized possession in your collection? Is there one that
Uh,
stands out?
a couple of things. My one of my favorite things is I have a box, a game for the Super Nintendo called Evo: The Search for Eden. And I have the box complete version of that with like the map and everything. I mean that has gone really high up in price now. I don't have the little Samson. I do have a couple of the rarities on NES, like Panic Restaurant and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff I got like was not pricey when I got them. Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut, like which is the one of the rarest N64 titles, because it was a Blockbuster exclusive here. That goes for well over 100, and I got it for like $30 or $25 years ago. So I also have the Zelda CDI games. Not that that's something to brag about, but they're pretty pricey.
People pay you money to keep you, so you keep it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
no,
way.
and I actually at one point had the world record in one of those. Wand of Gamelon, I actually speedrun and had the world record at one point.
Nice.
Wow, that's impressive.
So
So, how did you find it from the transition from doing it for fun to doing it as a way of paying the bills?
it was really like I thought I had like a game plan, and I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and everything's gonna work out great. And of course, nothing ever works out the way you want it.
Mhm.
Never.
Yep.
It's been a complete learning process, and to the point that I'm still learning. Like now, like just it's not just about doing the videos. It's a lot about playing the game that is YouTube and is Twitch and is social media and all this stuff. Like learning how to work within the system, like little things, the algorithm that YouTube uses to put videos ahead of other videos. It's like everybody already, like all the big people know this but they're not, going to spill their secrets so that everybody else knows them. So like you kind of got to like learn, piece together stuff here and there, and it's been an eye-opening thing, but I love it even more now than when I started, which was something I wasn't sure if I was going to keep loving it. I guess I'm just lucky in that sense that like another YouTuber recently like told me, he was like, I don't know how you do it, like doing 3-4 reviews in a week.
Yeah.
I can barely do a week, and I'm just like, I don't have a problem marathoning gaming for 24 hours. I have Mafia 3 this week, and I played 40 hours of. So like it's just one of those things.
Was it quite a good feeling to see your sort of the video suddenly sort of ticking over into the big numbers?
Yeah, when it finally like I'm still I mean I'm not a big YouTuber by any means. Like big nowadays is like, your million subscribers. I'm
Yeah.
still moderately what I am, but at the same time I'm seeing this big growth, especially in the last year with what I've changed my format to doing like the reviews over just doing the old stuff or trying to do let's plays and trying to, I had to stand out a little bit. I started doing reviews. A couple people start liking them. I'm like, you know what? I'll focus on this. And now over the last year, my reviews have kind of become my main focus on my YouTube, and it's awesome to see like that growth and the continual growth every month. Numbers are increasing, things are increasing, opportunities are opening up, and that's been like the real fun. It's been like the last 6 months, especially, have been a blast.
You say you do reviews. Do you get in touch with the companies, or do companies get in touch with you?
I had not like gone after that until very recently. A company that did a game, it's called Brutal on the PlayStation 4. That came out recently, and they contacted me out of the blue. Like I didn't, and they were like, "Hey, we like you to do a review for our game," and I was like, "Oh, okay." This is the first time anyone had really contacted me. I got a little bit of stuff from like a couple of like Steam Greenlight games, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to. They just looked bad. Like it's nothing against the people. I know they put work into it, but if you know Steam Greenlight, and I'm sure you guys do,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
there's so much. Yeah. So like this seemed like a real opportunity in a way, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I hadn't done it before, and it did. I liked the game, and it did pretty well. And then so I was like, you know what, maybe I can do this. And another YouTuber had contacted me. He's like, oh, here's a couple little sites and little things to get you started. And then I just started, you know what, I'm going to take the reins, and I just started emailing companies and mostly making PR contacts so that I get like information on their upcoming stuff. But every little contact is like that next little step. So it's a growing thing. But for the most part, out of like the 120 reviews I've done in the last like year and a half, it's been like I'd say 111, 112 are ones that I bought myself.
Yeah. Have you had to sort of stoop to the games that you want to review that you really don't like, and you're like, I really don't want to be spending money on this, and then you sort of have to force yourself just so you can say, I've now reviewed it.
There's a couple of times where like it's not that I don't like I very few genres I don't like. If I don't like a game, like if I've actually had a couple where I booted them up, I started playing and I'm like, not only do I don't like it because it's not my kind of game. Not that it's a bad game necessarily, but it's not my kind of game. So it's not fair to my audience to go ahead and do a review for it if I don't feel confident that I can give it an unbiased review without being like, it sucks because I don't like it. Like that's not a review. That's terrible.
No.
Like that's that's what I get in the comment section.
Yeah.
of my
Yeah.
that's not the review itself. But yeah, no. A lot of times, like the one of the hardest things about doing it is every week new games are coming out, and I have to be like, okay, here's my budget, here's what's coming out, and then look at every game, look at YouTube, see how many other reviews are already out. See what the price point is of that game, see if there's any benefits from getting that game, and then kind of weighing things. Like I wasn't going to review Mafia 3 at all, but apparently they didn't do review copies out there to a lot of the major publishers and websites and stuff. So I was just like, oh, well, not everyone. If everyone's getting an even playing field, I have a small chance of getting a video out before it becomes swarmed.
Yeah.
It still got swarmed pretty quickly, but at least I had a chance at this time because I did Uncharted 4 earlier this year, and that was when I learned it was like, okay, I put a lot of work into this review. It's not doing well because it's just not going to be able to be seen. It's buried by so many thousands of Uncharted 4 videos. I had to like change focus, and that's when I like kind of got my niche with the the whole indie games, the PlayStation 4 indie games, and the lesser titles, and I've been enjoying it.
Cool. What's your favorite game?
All time, Last of Us is my favorite game of all time.
Oh, wow.
Ocarina of Time and Resident Evil 2 are like 2 and 3, and they could interchange at any moment. But favorite game of all time is Last of Us.
No, fair enough.
We can't be
Fair
friends
enough.
anymore. I'm sorry.
I must say, I didn't. Even though, like, honestly,
No, I get that. I get it. A lot of people have said it. It's not like I'm one of those people. If you're like, oh, you don't like something I don't like, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, there's no,
Doesn't matter, does it?
yeah,
No.
exactly.
we all. It's one of those things. It's like you like things I'm not gonna like, but like the thing is, if we're gamers, at least we always still have that thing. Like we're gonna be able to get along in some way.
Absolutely. I agree.
I like it, man. I like it. Tell us a bit more about your channel. So you're doing what was it? 3 reviews a week, you say, and what else kind of you got on the stove at the moment?
It depends on the week, for reviews. Some weeks only have 1 or 2 reviews because it's like I do my best to fill everything out, but I only have so much for my budget and so much I can get. Plus, sometimes it is slim pickings. There was a couple of weeks in a row in August where like it wasn't a lot of major titles, and by major titles I mean anything like of any note. Like it was just bare minimum. So I have to sometimes like do stuff that I'm just like, I'm just doing this because I needed it. Like a couple weeks ago, the biggest release for PS4 that was like not like I think it was Darkest Dungeon, but unfortunately like it was $25. So I was like, I don't have a lot of money, so I ended up getting like Cluster Truck. Instead, I had to review Cluster Truck and a couple of filler games. But basically, on my YouTube, I focus on as many reviews as I can get done a week. And that is, of course, getting them done thoroughly. I'm not going to do a review unless I feel confident in doing it. But so as many reviews as I can get done. I do a retro play series called Play It Through. It's basically a Let's Play in many ways. Yes, it's a Let's Play, but it's an expert walkthrough. Like my goal of the video is to help people get through a game, these classic games, whatever they may be, and it's more of like I call it a talk through than it is like a Let's Play. It's me talking while playing a game, so in a lot of ways it is a Let's Play, but more so it's a talk through. I also do countdown videos I've started doing in the last couple of months, and from all range of topics, from retro topics to modern ones. I'm a big trophy hunter on the PlayStation, so a couple of ones I've done recently involved like the easiest trophies available on the PlayStation 4, and I see a lot of lists out there about that, but I'm like, there's a lot of games they're not covering on these lists, and I'm like, I'll do a list, and I did it, and and actually it's funny, like I've done one list, did well, I did another one a couple weeks ago, and now all of a sudden like I just been luck with really easy platinums coming out on PS4 lately, so I'm like, oh, I have another list almost ready, so there's another one coming soon. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do: the retro walkthroughs, countdowns, and of course the reviews.
Nice, man.
Nice. Occasionally you sleep and might have some food.
Oh well, yeah. I don't do it as he has his own channel now. If we ever get back into it, I still do to a degree. I have a couple other shows. I have a Snack Shack show where we test food. It's a taste testing show. Nothing too over the top special about it. And then I had another show called Bar Geeks, which we would create alcoholic related drinks to video games, media, whatever. And it's like a project that I really love doing. It's just been a lot of issues with stuff in my life that's like kind of put it on the back burner for right now. They have their own channel still, if people want to search them out. But for right now, like it's mostly just that on the channel as far as new content goes. But yeah, I have like 2,000 plus videos of all kinds of random stuff we've tried over the years. You never know what's gonna work until you try it.
Very true.
Well, I think we need to sort of jump into the important questions that we always ask everyone.
Absolutely.
And Mike, I think you need to follow up with this, sir.
Oh, what is my question? Wow, it's been
Oh,
so
come
long
on.
since I've asked that
Come
question.
on.
What is the best thing you've eaten in the last 7 days?
The best thing I've eaten. I'm very okay. So as a gamer, I'm extremely cheap when it comes to food because I don't have the money.
I know what you
So
mean.
like, so my biggest thing was being able to buy like Velveeta shells and cheese and have like a bowl of Velveeta mac and cheese. Like that's the best thing because I'm a mac and cheese guy. So like that was like my reward for the week.
Proper cuisine there.
I went to a local pub the other day for my brother's birthday for like steak night, and I like my steak rare, which isn't the easiest thing to cut in the world. So when they came out with no steak knives, I was like, okay, can I have a steak knife by any chance? They're like, sorry, we don't have any clean. How is that an excuse in any kind of hospitality? Do you want a clean one then for me, please? And it was the most. It looked like a scene from some of the most gory films we've ever seen because I was just trying to destroy this thing with a blunt butter knife.
What? So did they not get the
They
steak knife?
didn't give any of us steak knives.
So what, like even though you said something, they still didn't...
I said something, and then I was a dick about it afterwards. Like,
What's
because I was
that
cool,
about?
I was like, all right, what am I gonna do? And then I got my pudding, and I was like, oh well, it didn't stop you giving me a dirty spoon, did it? And threw the spoon at her, and she did not like that.
Oh God, Jesus!
It's like fucking ridiculous. Literally, like, I'm not joking. It was a normal knife, but not like even like the most basic serration on it. So it's like a butter knife, pretty much. Like it was, and it was a big Aberdeen Angus rump rare. So it's not exactly like it's an easy thing to cut through unless you have a proper knife. It's anyway, it was nice. The food was nice. I just couldn't fucking eat it.
Just end up just using your hands and just tearing into it with your
Well,
teeth.
that's pretty much what I was doing at one point because I was getting
Nice.
chunks like this, like Flintstone.
You animal,
style
stag
piece of
beetle!
fucking-
You animal!
That is what they call me on the streets, the mean streets of Wickham. The animal stag beetle himself.
Awesome. I'm so glad I moved to Ireland then. I
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
safer.
You've got away from the
Do you have
stag.
steak knives over there?
No, we just have the cow. We have the
Cut
entire
through
cow in the
your
field.
potatoes. Potatoes. What's the other question we always ask?
It's usually what games you've been playing this week, but you know we
was
kind
the
of
one.
know what
We've
you've been
kind of
kind of
done
been
that
playing
already.
because with the review
Yeah.
from
What games have you been
Mafia.
playing?
all
Let's
that
go
kind of
check
jazz.
YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it works.
Exactly. Are you still quite active on your Twitch sort of nowadays?
Yeah, I stream 4 days a week.
Nice.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those are my days I stream. That's why like I had to like today for like I think when we gave like the schedules and all, I was like Thursday and Sunday are like my only days I'm not like
Yeah.
doing something all the time. Like it's just like every day I'm doing something or another. But yeah, no, I still stream. And a lot of stuff what I'm streaming now, not on Fridays. Fridays is my party stream And by party, I mean me and my friends get together and drink and do stupid stuff for 8 hours or whatever it may be. Um,
That's
but
nice.
but yeah, no, my normal stream is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and usually a lot of what I'm playing is what I'm going to be reviewing, so people can see that as I'm playing it live, and then get the review out that night.
Nice, man. Nice. I mean, well, I suppose as we're kind of talking about where we can catch all your stuff, give us your links.
Plug us.
Twitch.tv/cornshack is my Twitch page. My YouTube page is youtube.com/user/cornshackgaming. And then I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/cornshack, and then Twitter at cornshack. I'm basically cornshack on everything except for Tumblr, because someone took my name for some reason on Tumblr. So I'm cornshack7897 on Tumblr, but everything else I'm cornshack on.
Why Cornshack?
Cornshack is a combination of the snack food corn nuts and, of course, the best game ever, Shaq Fu. So Shaquille O'Neal was my favorite basketball player growing up. So like I was one of those kids that like wanted to see his movies in theaters, wanted to get his CDs, and actually wanted Shaq Fu. Like in fact, like behind me on my shelves, I always have it hidden, but like I have his CDs like in the shelves back there. Like, you look through my collection, you'll just come across random Shaq stuff.
No one should be underestimating Shaq's raps because they weren't actually that bad.
No, they're not.
Like, they're not that. Like I remember the first time I heard them, I was like, "What it?" Actually, they're not that bad.
Exactly, it really isn't. Like, I think Kazam gives him like the worst. That was. Just, oh man, that was.
Is that the one
bad.
where he's a genie?
Yeah, it's the genie one.
Okay,
yeah.
that's pretty shit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
one of the worst ever in it. Shaq's just the big. He's just a big man, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Was he in that Looney Tunes one? Was that Shaq O'Neal?
No.
That's
He
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, and then like every other random NBA player. No, he wasn't in that one. He did Kazam, and he did Steel, the comic Steel.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about that.
I clearly led a sheltered life when I was younger. I missed all of this.
You didn't miss much, that's for sure.
Just him missing free throws mainly.
Oh, brilliant.
So
Well, I mean, I think we should dive into some more of the meat of the show, going into kind of what games that we have been playing. We kind of know that you've been playing Mafia 3, Mark. So, I mean, I think Michael, I think you've been playing some as well, haven't you?
I have indeed. I picked it up, I don't know, a couple of days ago, and I've spent a little bit of time on it.
What's up with it? What's up with it? Come on.
Repetition.
Oh yeah.
It's the same. Without giving it away too much, it's pretty much this. Like there's obviously like the game itself and the gameplay is all right, and the best part about it is probably the cinematics and stuff. The voice acting and the like the lip syncing and everything like that is amazing. It's probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. But let's say you go and take down a boss or you're going to do a mission, it's the same graphic for killing them every single time. It's the same pretty much. It's over and over and over and over and over again, the same formula. And I was like, okay, this is fun, but I haven't even sunk that much time into it, and I'm already finding it like I've done this. And although it's like, okay, the idea of what you're chasing down is different, it is exactly the same thing. It's like, oh, this time I want something else. I don't know how you found it, Mark. But...
No, that's it. Can you guys still hear me? I had to mute Mike for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, my dog barks crazy, and sometimes I have to leave it. Anyway, but yeah, no, Mafia 3, exactly what it was. And after 40 hours, it's still the same deal. Like, it's my biggest problem is it kind of has what last year's Metal Gear 5 had, where it's like the story bits are so good when you finally get to them, but it's those hours of useless stuff before you finally get to that next big thing. And it has some good stuff in it, but it sometimes takes hours to get to something actually decent because, yeah, you're right. The rackets, you're taking these rackets like, oh, it's prostitution. Well, it looks like the exact same one I just took for PCP. Yeah. Like, they're the same exact racket. Like, there's no difference here.
It's
Isn't
a
it
shame.
an issue with a lot of sandbox games though? Is that they've really struggling to find the padding around the story. It's like a lot of the sort of Far Cry games had that, as well as the Metal Gear Solid, and that other one, the Mad Max, there
Yeah,
was
Mad Max
good
is
set
bad.
pieces, but there was
Yeah.
just the padding wasn't padding. It was just fluff.
Well, the problem was they pretty much got like, let's say, I don't know what number, but let's say like 14 missions, but then you've got like 100 missions, and those 100 missions are these 14 missions with a little twist changed in it. It's not, there's nothing different. If we compare it to like the granddaddy of them all, Grand Theft Auto, there's some changes that there is storyline parts to it, but also you could be chasing down a hooker, or you could like there's something different. This was, and the animation where it really annoyed me. So you get to choose whether you just knock out the guy or stab him in the chest. It's the same animation, and you might do that however many, I don't know how many times in the game, but I've already done it enough times, and it's the exact same animation every time. And it's like, well, it would have taken you not 5 minutes, but add in 4 or 5 of them, and it wouldn't have been such a feel as repetitious. And it's just a shame.
Maybe they ran out of money after all the lip syncing, and they could only afford one
That
animation.
bit is really good. Like the acting
Yeah,
and
no,
the
it
voice acting and the soundtrack is awesome as well.
Yep.
Like it's very good for that. It's almost like a film more than I enjoy the film aspect part of it more than the actual game, which is a shame when you're playing a game.
Yep, especially one that's like 40 hours long or longer, depending.
Yeah.
Plus, there's glitches, which are even funner.
It's all about the glitches.
Yeah.
I haven't had any glitches on mine yet, but
Oh, you're lucky. I had one of the side missions where you had to like do stuff for the bosses. Like the trucks that have to spawn that you have to take, they don't spawn. There's nothing there. I keep going back to the spot over and over again. They won't. I was able to trick the game by taking another truck, taking it there, getting out of the truck, and then it would activate the mission as if it was the truck that was supposed to be there, and then get back in and leave. But unless I did that, I wasn't able to finish some of the side quests.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
it
And I'm
is
not the
funny
only one
how
who's
much
had that. A lot of people
happens.
have.
I remember in I think it was Skyrim, I had like a quest item disappear and then reappear somewhere else on the map. And I couldn't get to that bit to get to the next bit of the quest. So I had to actually re-go back about 8 hours of gameplay to my last proper save because it was effectively my quest item bugged out and went to a place that is not unlocked unless you've done that quest first. It's like, fucked.
Notorious for their glitches in their games being amazing. Incredibly broken.
I was actually looking at because Skyrim remastered or whatever comes out soon, and I was thinking, like, I kept saying to myself, "Oh, what's the point?" or so on. And then actually, I haven't played that game in so long. I think I'm going to pick it up.
Have you seen the trailer for it, man? Just seeing the sheer difference is actually making me go, "Yeah, I might do this."
I mean, you could just mod it with PC, and you'd get to close to that already. But I don't know how much my PC would handle that. So that's why I'm like, I kind of want the nostalgia because I played Skyrim on my Xbox. I want to kind of go back to that. So obviously on my Xbox One, I can kind of relive it. But I don't know, it's the same as like Grand Theft Auto when the better version came out on the newer, on the Xbox or the PS4. I was like, yeah, it'll look nicer. And then I was like, this is the same fucking game though, and I've done this shit before. So like. I think it'll be. I think I'm gonna have to pick it up though.
I think so. The good thing with GTA, just to continue with this tangent, I think I think the good thing what they've always been doing sort of the extra content. I mean, obviously at the moment we've got the biker kind of stuff, which I'm still yet to check out. I need to do it soon. But. That's the they've always been kind of delivering that extra content and not charging for it. It's they've been pretty solid with that. And I mean, I suppose come on, they did release the game twice, but
Yeah, and I bought it twice. What a twat.
Same.
I did as well, but I mean, I'm glad I did because I still got countless hours of multiplayer time hooked up on that game. I mean, I don't so much nowadays. I've kind of I've dropped off it a bit, but every little update, I'm always back for a little bit more.
I do like the new mod with the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 as your grenade.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I
I
mean,
shouldn't talk about that because that is the most annoying thing in my world right now.
I bet it is, man. I bet it is.
Fucking
He works in the
subject.
sort of the mobile industry, Mark. That's
Oh, okay.
why,
So
yeah.
Every single day,
can
I'm
only-
just
yeah.
dealing with people like, oh!
I can only imagine. Well, I worked at GameStop when the Xbox 360 Red Ring was going around. Like it was like 3-4 times a shift, and I was only working like a 4-hour shift at that point.
Like that.
Oh,
But remember, people are assholes.
they are.
Yes,
As soon as
yes,
I
they
want
are.
to complain about stuff.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah.
They
They
get
don't
on that
do it
high
on it.
horse and march around
be-
the store until you fucking give up.
The best moments in my life have been where I'm talking to a customer and then I'm telling them the stuff and they would be like, I want to speak to your manager. Get me your manager. I'm like, yeah, fantastic. Do you want to wait 3 minutes, 4 minutes for the manager? Yeah. Let me just deal with this. I'll get the manager for you. And I come back 4 minutes later. I'm like, yeah, what do you want? Like, no, I want the manager. I'm like, well, you clearly can't read my badge where it says I'm the manager and I was already dealing with you. So, I'll treat you like a fucking idiot then.
Smooth, Mike. But getting off work-related things, what else have you been playing, my man? I see an interesting title there that I'm loving the sound of.
Well, me.
No, Stag.
Hi.
What was the other thing I put down?
Time Crisis.
Oh yeah. So this was fun.
Jesus, Stag.
But
Wake
no,
up.
I was like, I didn't play
random
anything on my
games you like.
Xbox. I didn't play. Oh, so me and a couple of friends the other night, we were like, what should we do? Like, should we go for a drink? Should we? I'm bored. What should we go and do? And someone goes, do you want to go to an arcade? And I was like, yeah, we could go to an arcade. Where is there an arcade? And I was like, well, we could go to the Wickham one, which has nothing in it. So we kind of spent a little while and went over to Reading, and there's in the ice rink, there's an arcade there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always loved a bit of Time Crisis, but the problem with Time Crisis is, unless you're really, really good, you run out of, when you're a kid, you put in about, 4 or 5 goes, and it's like, I'm out of money. Well, I'm a fucking grown-up now, and I've got balling change. So I had just nuggets of coins, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it. If someone would die, I'd be like, I'm paying, don't worry. I must have spent 50, 60 quid playing Time Crisis. But it was fucking fun, because we were just trying out different stuff. So, at one point, I was trying to do both screens at the same time with the feet, and that didn't really work very well. But it was fun. I played a couple of other games there, but that was the standout one. And by sort of we completed it, but spent a lot completing it. And then we were like, should we just try it one more time, but see this is our limit? And we were just killing it on the second run because it just you got your aim in and you got the flow of it and stuff. It was I can't remember which one it was. It's the one where it was Time Crisis. I want to say 3. It's the one. I always remember the beginning because the bees or the fucking flies or whatever come at you, and you can choose what kind of gun you have. And if you have the shotgun or the machine gun, you get some crazy combo at that point. But if you're just on pistol, it's like, I can't hit it fucking fast enough.
Yeah, that's 3.
But yeah, it was fun. We also played. We played a beat 'em up, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. It was an old
Tekken,
SNK,
Virtua Fighter,
SNK versus Capcom style,
Oh, fuck.
old machine sort of thing, and it was only 20p a go. So we were
wow.
we were on that for ages because it was just let's try that character out, let's try that character out. Yeah, I watched a person almost die with a hot dog. It was really strange. So so I was watching, and I thought I preemptively spotted something, but obviously I didn't think to warn anyone. But this kid had a foot-long hot dog, and the parents were not paying any attention to him, and he couldn't really eat it. And then he kind of did that, and the whole dog went out of the bun and went down his throat. And so he was like, with a fucking half a hot dog coming out of his mouth. And then I've never seen a cooler dad though in his life. Like nothing as cool as just looks down and sees his son pretty much dying, choking to death, and just casually just pulls out a hot dog, slams it on the thing, and carries on his conversation. It was like the smoothest move you've ever seen. Like at the same time, like, are you really giving a shit about your son? Not the best sort of thing.
Man.
But yeah, it's fun. I think we should go do it sometime. We'll go find somewhere, and as long as they've got a couple of different games, because a lot of arcades these days, there's not really any big arcades in England, are there? Unless
nah, not really, man. But I'm down, man. I'm down. I'm always down for some arcade action.
Yeah, cool.
Dave, man, what about you, dude, man? What you been playing this week?
I have been playing a game that I haven't touched in a few months. I was listening to various soundtracks at work, and one of the soundtracks that came on was for the TV show Defiance, and it's amazing soundtrack. Oh wait, which one are you doing first?
No, don't worry. I'm gonna hit Defiance.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if you had it in a specific
Don't worry.
order.
Don't worry.
This is where I test you. Yeah, the soundtrack was amazing, and I was like, wait, I have a game with this. I want to give it a go. So I busted it on, and then it was like, now downloading an update. So I went away, and like 2 days later, when I had finished downloading the update, because fast internet speeds, I gave it a go, and the game has like completely changed. There's so much difference in there now from what I was used to. So many new screens and weapons and abilities and all sorts. It's just nuts. And the map has gone from like a tiny, teeny little area to like huge. It's like a proper game now. From when it first came out, it was like a sort of a comedy spin-off from the TV show that, is it going to actually survive and go the distance? And the answer is yes. It's actually outlived the TV show itself. So good on them. But it's also because you were obviously mentioning Destiny and getting back in on that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, because I don't have Destiny, I can go with what I have, which is Defiance, which is the closest thing you can get to it. Because you use sort of similar sort of stuff. You tend to run around a big open area map, and you sort of stop in and do a couple of missions, and you can jump in with friends or just random strangers, or you can, ball it and go alone, but you actually end up dying a lot.
I'd say, for people that are kind of into that kind of thing as well, I'd say Warframe would probably be another good game, of that kind of style. Yeah. If you're interested, but I always will say, because I am unbelievably loyal, come to Destiny, join the dark side.
Defines
story for days.
But no, I really enjoyed it, and it was just great fun, just flinging on a dirt bike and hammering around the wasteland and just hopping off and shooting the crap out of random nuisance. But just the sort of comments that your character gives off when you sort of start shooting or taking hits or whatever, it's like they really have worked hard on the character that you can feel for it if you suddenly die or whatever.
Yeah.
So no, it's good. Enjoyed it.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah. To go back and do more of that because I was so out of practice. It's like the control. It's like I need to look up, and then I'll just be looking on the ground, and it's like I need to throw a grenade, and I'll just hit all the buttons on the controller, and one of them might, do what I need to.
I like your style, Dave. I like your style.
I've always loved that meme where it's like, what is it? Where it's like when I go back to a game after 6 months and it's Gandalf, and it's like, what is this place? It's like, that's every time I go back to like certain games. Batman was the worst. I was like so far into Batman, and I went back into it, and I was like, I have no idea how to perform any of the fucking like mechanics that I need again now. Shit, and so it just wrote me off from the game at that point.
Oh, nice.
I've done that on other games as well that I've come back to it, and I just have no clue what's been happening with the story, where I was meant to be going, or any of the puzzles I'm meant to be solving, or anything like that. So I've just gone fuck it and start from the beginning. It's like when you get a really thick novel, you sort of for bedtime reading, you sort of read it and you're like, confused. I shall start again from the beginning. And then you sort of put it down for a few months because, you struggle to get into it. And then suddenly you come back later to it. And then you're like, oh, can't figure it out. So, you end up redoing that beginning bit that you are so good at, but you just never see any of the rest of the game.
Nice, man. Well, I mean, what else have you been playing, dude?
I am still currently working on our Halloween special, coming soon to a YouTube near you, Among the Sleep, where you play a very small, teeny tiny 2-year-old who has woken up in the middle of the night to strange goings-ons. Your mother has disappeared, and your new present, a teddy bear, is talking to you and helping you along your way on your adventures. It is amazing and actually quite scary. It's an indie game. This is one of 2 games that they've done,
Okay.
based in Norway. So for a first foray outing into the world of 3D, which can usually be quite challenging as a sort of platform to do because glitches abound. There have already been some weird and wonderful glitches. One where I've restarted and somehow I fell through the floor. So as I was walking, I
Nice.
was walking normally, but then when you go into crawl mode, suddenly you're crawling under the ground and you can see everything, which was just bizarre. So yeah, good for that. But no, I think they've done really, really well putting this together. I'm probably about a quarter of the way through now. I don't think it's a particularly long game, but I take it you've played this, Mark.
Yeah, I played actually twice, once on PC and then it came to PS4 not too long ago.
Yeah. But it is genuinely scary. There are some real moments in that where you are like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? I'm quite terrified and don't want to go any further. Because, like all good horror games, you have to play it with the lights off in the middle of the night just to get that full atmosphere. So yeah, absolutely loving it. And yeah, like I said, coming soon to Halloween near you, you get to watch me cower and squirm through that.
Nice.
I love a bit of Halloween. The best story I ever heard was one of my very good friends. I haven't seen since probably a year, but about 3 years back. Him and his girlfriend are really into like ghost stories and all the kind of like, all the shows where there's ghosts and all this kind of stuff. But so she, for Halloween, thought it'd be a good idea to take him on one of these ghost hunt sort of things. And he, for Halloween, thought it'd be a really good idea for them both to take mushrooms while doing it. So, yeah, for 4.5 hours, apparently, he just was just like, I saw ghosts. I don't know if they were there, but I literally saw everything. And I've always been like, I don't think I have the balls to do it, but it would be fucking kind of crazy to do. I'm looking forward to, there's a couple of VR things coming out for Halloween, so I'm going to try that on my brother's Vive.
Oh, awesome, man.
That might be.
Oh, definitely do. So see if you
scary.
can get some footage as well somehow.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing if you can.
to
Speaking actually of Halloween, our next podcast actually does fall on Halloween if people are about. It's a Monday, Monday evening.
We should totally
so.
go find dress up stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. We need to dress up for Halloween.
Talking about your ghost hunting thing, in Cork, the town near to where I live, they do every year one of those sort of haunted house type event things, where you get to wander around a building and you get actors jumping up and going "Gooby, gooby, gooby" at you and flashing lights and generally spookiness. This year they've put in hidden cameras that are on websites, so you can actually watch people, and they take pictures, and you can like look on Facebook and see all these genuinely terrified people and laugh at them, which is great fun.
There's that one that I keep seeing on Facebook that is like, I can't remember who created it. I want to say Rob Zombie, but I don't think it is. But it's like co-signed by someone, and it is one of these events, but it is like the most gruesome, horrific sort of thing I've ever seen. And I was like, people look like they're generally ready to die because like they're so scared. Because like it's just like people. It's not like ghosts sort of stuff. It's like Chainsaw Massacre sort of shit, running after people.
I know the one you mean. They actually have to sign a disclaimer saying that if they die of a heart attack, then it's not, and they can't sue them and stuff. And they'll go into this place and it's like Saw. They will be locked into something, so they'll be handcuffed to the floor as while people come along and they'll just like lick their face and all sorts, and basically anything goes bar murder and the illegal stuff, but everything else is fair game. And
Anything goes.
Anything goes, yeah.
I just get raped, so great.
But yeah,
Fantastic.
the obvious legal stuff, but everything else.
I've always thought that the people because I know that a lot of the time, like when they do like the night at Thorpe Park and they have like the Halloween sort of whatever, and the amount of times the actors must get punched or something happens to them because it's just your natural reaction of like someone, I just fucking hit them.
I've seen it. I've actually been to one of those Thorpe Park nights. So much fun, but yeah, the actors, you go in and there's the actors there, but in the darkness, like proper in the shadows in the corners, you've got the really big security guys that are watching everything, so you just know that when it kicks off, they're going to be coming at you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's save some of this Halloween excitement for Halloween and move
Going on a
into
tangent,
what else? What else you got, Dave, for me?
Hearthstone, my favourite game.
Oh, really?
Go back off on for hours. Yes. It's a new game. I don't really know much about it. So
we got your Tavern Brawl sort of playing in the background as well.
Yeah. So this was last week's Tavern Brawl, which was the chess game, which was all right. It was new. It was novel. It was a bit of a thinking man's card game version. But it didn't really have much longevity to it, which was a shame. But however, this week, that is really pulled out the fun. You get to pick one card of your entire collection that you like the mostest, and you get 22 copies of it. And then you'll get 8 random class cards from the class that you pick. And then you go off and you play against someone, and then you try and beat them. It's really, really good. They've done similar Tavern Brawls in the past, so they've done the 2 card, so you get to pick 2 cards and you get an equal amount roughly split of those, and then you'll get 3 cards, so you'll get 3 cards sort of randomly split, and you can try and sort of bring the combos together of those, but this time they've kind of brought in the randomness of it, so you'll get these 8 random cards to in. Basically they're trying to avoid completely broken combos, but that hasn't happened. So you'll still get one person who kills you in 4 turns from one card, which just makes it really fun for them. But I just like the sort of meta, the rock paper scissors. So you'll find a card that you can beat face with and you can win every time, and then someone will find a counter to that. So then you use that for a while, and someone counter to that one, and then you sort of go around. But it's a learning process for people who may not really know how certain cards work. So you can see how it works sort of as a standalone. It also gives you a chance to play cards that you may have played before, or cards that you didn't even know existed. You'd be like, oh, what's this? Oh, I've never used this. I should use it. Oh my god, it's amazing! And then you go off and play it in the actual proper constructed. So I like these ones. A lot of people get really upset by it because they don't like losing over and over again for the same thing, but that's because they don't try and improve.
Fair enough.
But yeah, if you have Hearthstone and it's free, so you've got no excuse, go and try it.
Nice, man. Nice. All right. Well, let's jump into some of my jazz if I can get things working.
Jazz.
Because of the lovely PlayStation Plus, I will apply the scene change. I have been playing a bloody great game, which you will call Transformers Devastation. Honestly, this game is so much fun. It feels like kind of like Devil May Cry kind of like style, kind of action. But you're Transformers. I mean, in my opinion, that is 100% win-win. You can't get any better than that. Voice acting wise, it sounds like the original kind of like the TV series as well, and it looks kind of like the original TV series because of the way they've done the art style. I am a massive fan of this game, and because if you are a PlayStation 4 user, you got PlayStation Plus. Download this game right now, free all of October. Don't miss out, because this game is an absolute gem. I'll get sort of into some more of the content. You do get to play all all of the decent kind of guys out there. Obviously, you've got your Optimus Prime, you've got Bumblebee. I'm just trying to think who else now. There's fucking plenty. I've played like 4 or 5 already.
You get to play as
I've seen.
Decepticons as well.
I haven't seen anything Decepticon wise yet. I don't think you do. I might be wrong. Maybe you do in the future. I could be telling porkies, but I don't know. It's from what I've been playing so far, I've been it's kind of like, you know, your standard kind of walking about, slashing shit. You can kind of drive about as well because obviously you're Transformers, so you're going into your vehicles. There is some sort of fun combos, you know, kind of like Devil May Cry style, where like you'll just sort of be hitting with your sword at first, and then suddenly you'll, you know, transform into your vehicle and just crash into them or something. It's you know, it's just some interesting kind of sort of combat mechanics there, but all in all, 100% fun. Definitely recommend it highly. Get on that shit.
The weapon. Well, did you mention weapons?
Well, I mean, you don't really change up on weapons and that as such, but there is like, yeah, there is different weapons depending on what transformer you are. I'm kind of going through the story mode at the moment where it's kind of been handing me from character to character. So I started as Optimus, then I went to Bumblebee, and then just been sort of going on from there. But like the missions are pretty quick as well. They're like, you know, they just sort of fly by, you know, like, so you're like within like 2-3 minutes you would have done mission 1. You'd be like, oh right, but it's kind of, it goes through seamlessly, so it just keeps going and going and going. So so that you're not like kind of dropping out of the gameplay at any time, which is definitely a good addition as well.
Michael Bay as well, which is a great thing.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. No Shia LaBeouf in sight. No, just do it.
Mark Wahlberg jumping out.
But to be fair, I would have welcomed some Just Do It, because you know that kind of motivation is wonderful. We had some content hit on Destiny last week, so my quick Destiny update that we've got going on. It was more, we had Iron Banner come back for the first time since the update, and it was all based on the new Supremacy mode, which I've got a video of the Supremacy mode because I forgot to actually take any video during Iron Banner. But the good thing sort of about with Iron Banner this time that I found is that it wasn't like daily bounties. It was sort of like, it was set up for like there was 4 bounties that were set for the week. It was kind of like a point collective as such, and you got you know, sort of legendary rewards from achieving those bounties. So it was like a legendary armor, legendary weapon, sort of a legendary sort of class item as well. So there was sort of plenty up for grabs. Also, you know, it was your usual kind of ranking up. You know, if you got to rank 3, you know, you got a sort of an item. If you got to rank 5, there was a special ship that you could get. But just sort of showing on the gameplay here. Basically, this is kind of like the new Supremacy mode. So when you sort of kill someone in this, or when you die as such, you drop a tag where they call it crests in this, and then you go and pick up the crest to be able to score the point, or they can take the crest to be able to make sure that you don't get the point. I'd say probably the most annoying thing about Iron Banner in this new game mode is the amount of people that don't really understand the mechanic and don't bother actually picking up crests. And honestly, the amount of losing games that I played this weekend was just getting frustrated, just because of the fact that you know, people just didn't understand that they needed to pick that up. It's the Iron Banner
Is it
ended
not
up
automatically picked up if you walk over it?
Well, yeah, when you walk over it, yeah.
People are idiots.
Yeah.
Big shiny thing. Ignore it. Don't touch it.
Like, especially the blue ones of your allies, so you can stop them from scoring. Yeah, forget them. Just.
I thought that was instilled in all gamers everywhere. If it's shiny, you pick it up.
Right. I know. But I mean, all in all, really good rewards for the Iron Banner this time round. Like I managed to get myself up to raid level now. I'm going to be doing the raid very soon, hopefully. I'm hoping to get it in before the next podcast, so I can kind of give you a nice rundown of how the raid is. But yeah, that's about it on games that we've been playing this week. Let's jump in to some news.
News.
No.
How new is the news?
I
Next
saw someone put the Corridor Digital vid of a GTA VR experience, which is an absolutely incredible video. With starring Steve Ogg, the actor behind Trevor in GTA 5. It's an outstanding video. If you haven't checked it out, I'm not gonna like steal their video and put it up on our thing right now. So go and check that out. Corridor Digital did it on YouTube. Definitely a lot of fun. I mean, did any of you guys check out the vid?
Yeah, I put it in there because I just thought it was amazing. I love that character as well. I think he's
Yep.
one of the best characters in years for just we love a psychopath, don't we? But like,
That's our fun.
it's just like what we kind of just enjoy that as gamers, sort of thing. But it's like there's maybe something a little deeper to him, but no, he's just an absolute psychopath, really. Like he's a lovable psychopath.
You hug him from a distance.
Nice. I mean, moving on from that, we've got a sort of a nice list here that GameSpot have kind of compiled in regards to what games are necessarily going to be available, or rather, what games are getting a patch as such on the for PS4 Pro. To get that lovely 4K game in. I mean, Mark, what's your opinion on the PS4 Pro?
Here, my thing with the Pro is for people that can go ahead and afford, like if you don't have a system already, this is going to be your go-to system now. Like if you don't have the PS4, you finally want to get one, you're going to go after this. Similar to me, I don't have an Xbox One, but at this point, I might as well hold out and get a Scorpio when it drops next year. At the same time, like nothing that it's doing. I don't have a 4K television. I don't have anywhere near the money right now to go out and get the 4K TV quite yet. So for me, the upgrade to it wouldn't necessarily be all that useful, but I have no issue with it existing. A lot of gamers have problem with it even like existing. I would like to see the changes and the updates with it like firsthand, actually see it like in action. But until I can afford it, it's not going to do me a whole ton of good. But I'm glad a lot of games are going to get those patches to help them out for the Pro.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely sort of quite a few games that have gone. Yeah, we're definitely doing this. I mean, just to sort of name a few. I mean, Elder Scrolls Online, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Fallout 4, Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. I mean, so there's plenty of kind of there. There's a few sort of there have kind of said that they're going to do it, but they haven't really confirmed when and everything like that. There's sort of plenty of them. There are a couple that have said that they're not doing it. Destiny is one of them. So Bungie are like, no, we don't care about 4K.
I'm interested to see how much it affects the game itself, like running in 4K, and if that, like, if that's gonna, we're used to the things of like Xbox One and stuff like that capping down under 60 FPS and whatnot. Is 4K gonna really work and so on? But I think the problem with 4K is, like I said a couple of weeks ago, that like the technology is fantastic. If you actually see 4K stuff, it's brilliant. But there isn't that much content for it at the moment. So it's really in the next 4 or 5 years when stuff comes out. But by that time, we'll have bloody 8K and stupid stuff like that.
Yep, exactly. You're not wrong there, man. The other kind of sort of the major one, it was sort of Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. They publicly kind of said, nah, we're not doing that as well. So interesting kind of sort of there to see what's kind of going on. I mean, I'm definitely interested in maybe getting a PS4 Pro if my PS4 ever goes down, but I'd only ever see it as a replacement device. I can't see me picking it up anytime soon because, as you're right, I ain't got no 4K telly. I'm not going to bother with that.
They've got a lot cheaper though, the 4K TVs. I was looking at them not too long ago and just I remember when it was a 40-inch 4K TV was close to £3,000, and now they're £600 to £1,000. So it's the age-old thing of technology does get a lot cheaper as it gets more affordable for them to make, and also as the technology furthers on. I saw someone put up a screen grab on Facebook the other day and had two SNES games. I think it was Killer Instinct and something else next to it, and they were like $89.99. It's like, wow.
It was like Secret of Evermore, I think it was. I bought for the SNES, and I bought that at full price, which was like 60 quid.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Expensive.
Right, what else we got here? Oh yeah, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered will be a combined 130 gigabyte install minimum.
That is so much.
See, there was a time back in the day, there was a game called Baldur's Gate, and it came on 5 discs, I think it was, and it was full install was 3 gig, or so 3 to 4 gig.
Crazy.
And at that point, people were like mind blown of like, this is huge amounts of space. You know, we'll never possibly be able to fit it. You know, we're going to have to get rid of our entire game collection of like 30 games just to fit this one game on. And now we'd see it now here with like 130 gig, and you're like, it's huge, but years down the line it'll be like.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm sort of more thinking about, you know, if you're, you know, on the PS4 or the Xbox, you know, Xbox One, most people are probably going to have the 500 gigabyte version. That's a lot of space to be using.
That's almost well, actually, after the system stuff, that is pretty much a third, isn't it? So
yeah.
So I mean,
but I mean, anyway.
Just to kind of explain a bit more on that, obviously that is, you know, combined as such. So in other words, if you only had Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, you know, that was obviously going to be considerably less, you know. So it is based on you having both of them installed, which I think probably most people are probably going to be installing both of them if you are, you know, a fan of the Call of Duty franchise.
They'll be installing Battlefield 1, mate.
Not that I want to cast dispersions on anyone here, but I think that most people who are going to be playing those games are probably only going to be playing those games exclusively. So it's fine that they're so big because they don't really need the space for anything else, except maybe all the videos of them doing their kill shots and everything. So they
360 no scopes and stuff, you know.
Yeah, all of that.
Illuminati confirmed. Fucking ridiculous.
I'm still just shocked that Activision they're not doing a separate release for this. Like, they are really dead set on not only do you have to get it together with Infinite War, but you also have to have the Infinite War disc to play the Modern Warfare remaster. Like, or you have to have it both in. Like, you won't be able to have them separate. Like, because they don't want people buying Infinite War for the remaster and then trading in Infinite War just to have the remaster. So you have to have it in order to play it.
Okay.
It's basically like they've got no faith in Infinite Warfare. It's like they feel that this game isn't going to do well by itself, so they're going to have to put it with something.
It fucking will, though. It does every year.
It always does.
Like,
it always does. Like, people... It's because, you know, they like to, you know, pick up their new game. It's like FIFA at the end of the day. It's become one of those sort of staple titles that comes out every year. Like Madden.
So yeah, no, people always complain yearly release, and then you're back people are back next year. Like, you know, if it'll be like, oh, we didn't do as well. Oh, what, you didn't make 3 million? Oh, you only made, sold 2.9 million copies. That's a bad year for, whatever it may be. It's ridiculous.
I'm just waiting for the outcry when it doesn't come out one year. It'll be like, where's our FIFA? Where's our Call of Duty?
But you kind of have to, if that's the kind of game you play, you kind of have to get it if you play multiplayer, because more than half the population's disappeared, and then it all comes back when the new one comes out. So I remember when when I used to play football or Madden, for example, towards the end of like the season, a couple of months before the new one's coming out, I'd be playing the same people over and over again because there's no one there. And you try and load up Madden, I don't know, 15 now, and try and get an online game. Good luck. You might have like 5 people playing it, and they all live in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
I'm really saddened by the next news. This really
It
upset
makes me very sad as well.
Cuphead has been delayed to 2017. I want that game.
It has.
It's never coming out at this point.
I know. They just keep delaying and delaying.
It was what? How 3 E3s ago it was shown?
Something like that. Yeah.
So,
Something like that, yeah.
It'll be
but
this
then
and
again-
Guardians, fucking the 2 games that never come out.
It seems like it.
Well,
Yeah,
I
It
but
mean,
then
looks
again,
so
we've had
beautiful,
games
though.
It does look amazing. But then we've had games that are like that don't seems to come out for like, for 10, 20 years or whatever, and then finally they do come out, and then they've not been that great.
But yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
this will be shit, most likely.
I don't know. Well, in the new blog post, they did kind of say throughout this year we discussed reducing the scope to make a 2016 release, but we made the difficult decision to delay the launch in order to ship with our vision intact. So, on that kind of level, hopefully,
Yeah, they're not compromising.
yeah, exactly. So that kind of hints to us that, maybe it is going to be a good one. So I don't know. I'm still holding out hope there for Cuphead. I really want to play that
get
game.
excited about side-scrolling shoot 'em ups or anything like that. That one just looks amazing.
It's one of those games I think that got a lot of press when it first released, like when the first trailer came out, and then like it got so much hype that they decided to go back and make the game much bigger than what it originally was, and because of that, it just keeps going and going as far as the delays go. Yeah, pretty much. It went from being like a small little tiny indie title to getting all this hype from E3 that it's got to deliver on something. If they came out with just a 5-level shooter that was done in 10 minutes, people were going to be upset by all that hype from behind it. So so hopefully when it finally does come out, it's good. I'd rather have it delayed and be great than, come out like, and get just completely overshadowed and glitchy and a mess. Almost every AAA title you can name nowadays, just about.
Yep.
At this point.
Not
It's
wrong.
rare. It's like what we say almost every time. The hype machine kills so many games.
Everything gets
and like
killed by
it's our fault as well because we're the ones clicking on, I want to see more, I want to see more.
Yep.
And then like we're annoyed when they come out and they're not that good, and we already know what everything in the game's going to be.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm annoyed about that. But at the same time, I completely agree. I'd rather they get it right and it comes out and it works, and but it is just, I just love the idea of it. I think it's the style of it is so visually impressive. It really does look like it could work, and I'm surprised no one's ever thought of it. It's like that's what the best ideas are half the time, isn't it? Like that idea, like why has no one ever thought of this? This is so simple, but could really work.
And that's why indie gaming is as great as it is, just because you can take that risk. Like no major company, like developer, was going to be like, taking that risk to make a game like that. And that's why we got so many great indie titles that come out. There's a lot of crap, but there's a few ones that are like, how did no one make a game like this before? Or just something simplistic that takes over the gaming world, like Stardew Valley did earlier this year. Like that game came out of nowhere, and like everyone's playing it, everyone's doing a video for it, everyone's whatever. And that's the great thing about indie titles.
Well, the big one for that is Minecraft. Minecraft came out, never been done before. No one knew what was going on, and it was like, this looks really boring. And now look at it, it's insane.
I mean, I remember being in beta for that, and playing, having a Minecraft server. I went fucking crazy for that game at first. Really did.
So I was never into it, but has anyone seen that thing they released this week or last week of the town that took 4 years for someone to make? It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's to be fair, like I have no appreciation for Minecraft because I never played it really. I understand the concept of it and I quite like the idea of certain things, but it is as detailed as it can come, and it is a full-fledged city. Let's call it realistically. It's pretty impressive. There's a lot of stuff about it. It keeps popping up on my Facebook and random places, so I'm sure you'll probably see it.
We just have to share it on our social media at some point.
Yeah, if I see it, I'll put it across.
Awesome.
Moving on. AMD gaming. Is it Gaming Evolved? Yeah, it is. Gaming Evolved app.
Yeah.
Coming to a close. Killed in action. Dave?
Yeah, so for people who have AMD cards, they basically, it's like that's Cuphead.
I know.
It almost reminds me of Steam Lite in the sense that you basically, the games that you've installed on your PC, you can, as you can see, use streaming media for like Twitch or whatever, and you can record it. But at the same time, you can also get achievements, so it will give you points, and then you can use those points by going into their store and buying more games. And there's meant to be a whole community that you sort of build up from it. They've pulled it from another similar app from them, but this is like their version of it. But unfortunately, it never really sort of took off. It never really gained the popularity that they were hoping. So it's not like completely going away. It's still there because I have it because I've got.
I must admit, I've still got it myself as well, so that's where I got the screenshot from.
But what they aren't doing is they are not supporting it. But it may also be the fact that it doesn't support DirectX 12.
Yeah, probably.
And so because of that, they aren't going to try and, put any extra effort into it because, they'll focus on other things. So it's a shame, but then I think everyone that's still using Steam and kind of doesn't use this at all, because I barely use it at all. The only time I've ever used it is for the optimizing games. It's a really handy tool that you click it and it goes through and it sets everything up your computer for so you can play it at the bestest that it can possibly be, which is kind of cool. But other than that, I've never really touched it. But I'm sure that there are probably people out there who are saddened by this news.
For sure.
Mark, do you use this?
No, I do not. No, I don't do a ton of the PC stuff.
It's fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Anyway, let's move on. I'm gonna skip that next one, I think.
Yeah, that was just a nonsense.
Yeah, and I move into this. I mean, Dave, you just need to go with this. This is yours. I know it's yours.
So, as I was perusing my various sites for gaming news for the week, yes, this particular one cropped up. Basically, it caught my eye because of the whole backwards capability thing. I am a big fan of backwards capability, considering I have a lot of very old games, not many new titles, and so if I want to be purchasing the new consoles, I would like to be able to still play my old games. So I clicked it and suddenly found myself on a Daily Star page, and I'm like, what the fuck, why am I here?
So Mark, just to clarify on anyone else that has no idea what the Daily Star is, the Daily Star is a tabloid newspaper that is just tits, basically, just boobs.
That's what I've heard.
Everywhere. Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
So...
Page 3 is actually page 2 and page 4 and page 5.
Yeah,
page 6.
Their website's not much better. Their top news article is a dancer who revealed camel toe during her dance routine.
Great.
I don't know why I don't get into the articles more.
So I'm looking at this one going, they have a gaming section, as was the first, surprise that I had. So I was like, okay, let's go with it. Let's read it and see what they're going on about. So their list of classic Xbox 360 titles include Jurassic Park the game, Battle Stations Midway, Dragon's Lair, and Tour de France 2011 as their
solid titles. Solid titles.
Absolutely amazing titles, but they are writing it as if this is the second coming. The people who have got Xbox One titles are chomping at the bit, that they can finally get their hands on and play these classic games.
Don't diss Tour de France 2011. That had some fantastic game mechanics. The lifelike realism of the steroid use is impressive.
So yes, the article pretty much went from that onwards, but it was just the quality of writing was amazing. I mean, they even managed to spell words wrong. One of them, ironically, was the word unfortunately.
No.
It's really unfortunate that they can't spell unfortunately. And at that point, I was like, this is just amazing. So I am going to be using the Daily Star as a future gaming knowledge and news, because I feel that I'm going to be learning from this benefit.
Looking at my script, like my homepage right now. I'm getting all on top of that. I'd be really excited though. I really want. Obviously, there's the confidence from Phil Spencer that they'll get Skate 3 onto Xbox One. Do it now.
Yeah.
It's
I saw that little highlight in the document and I was just so happy. I was just like, come on, you need to do it. And to be fair, that might sway me a bit more into, that Xbox One territory.
And the fact that you've got Blue Dragon, because Blue Dragon is an amazing RPG title. So that would actually get me on Xbox One.
Okay. What have we got next? Oh, yeah. Whoever put this in there, I love you. And I want this game. like in my life.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is coming in 2017. Now I saw this link, and I'd already seen the trailer of the film that they're doing a remake of, and I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, they're going to do a game of it. And I clicked on it, and it's not that. This is the original Power Rangers as like a side-scrolling sort of cartoon beat 'em up, and it just, the more I watched it, the more I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to play this. It's like Golden Axe on fucking steroids.
See, it kind of reminded me of like Castle Crashers, kind of like art style, which I'm like, yes, I'm totally in. And as you were kind of saying, it is based on those old characters. That you can definitely hear that they've like kind of lifted their voices. I would say, like for some of the trailer kind of stuff.
It does sound like just literally like play the VHS again. Right, we got it. We got that one. No, it looks great. I mean, I really like the art style. I kind of like the way that certain things kind of come in the screen and stuff, and it looks like it'd be a fun little game. I was really worried that it was going to be, this new film completely. Maybe this new film will be good. I don't know, but Power Rangers when I was 7 or 8 was like my life. It was. That was what I grew up on, and I loved the Zords, and I had every single figure, and I literally remember coming out of school and just being like,
Do you remember the game on? I remember having it on Sega Mega Drive, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Tied up to the movie as such with Ooze and stuff. Oh man, I love that game so much.
Ivan Ooze had a very good plan. It was like, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of your parents walk off a cliff. That was like the big bad plot. It's like, hold on a second here. It's okay. You've got like all these like super powerful things. It's like, right, off a cliff. Come on.
Oh man. I don't know. I mean, just on that. Sorry. On that Power Rangers level, I'd say, the movie. I think, what I've seen so far, it's looking pretty sick. I'm, like the way the outfits look, I think it's pretty cool as well. So I don't know. I'm interested to see on how they do it, how they kind of take it. But yeah, man.
I don't know. I think they'll do. I think it will be. It's meant to be a bit more grown up by the sounds of things.
Oh fucking hell yeah! You can tell that by the trailers.
Don't know if I like the idea of them getting the powers without the suits coming, so they're powerful already, and then that comes. But it kind of gets around the whole idea of these 5 kind of geeky-ish kind of people are all karate experts.
Yeah.
That was always the problem with Angel Grove. It was why is Billy, who is evidently never getting any pussy in his life, also a grandmaster kung fu fighter? It just didn't kind of work in my opinion. But yeah, it could be good. It's the year of the remake though, isn't it? Well, not a year.
Yeah, it's the season of it in general. Just for the last, it's been ridiculous.
That's all the meetings are now, isn't it? We need a really good idea for a film. Have you got Google? Right. What came out exactly 14 years ago? That's our next project. Perfect.
I'm waiting for a Goonies remake.
They can't do that. If they do that, I will cry.
I swear they're doing something.
They've tried forever to make the sequel or make something.
Yeah.
It always falls apart in the end.
I don't think they can.
Maybe
some of the remakes are so Ghostbusters. That remake was so bad.
It was nonsense. It was just stupid nonsense. It made me smile a lot. But I think it's time we get more Gremlins. I think it's time for a Gremlins remake.
Gremlins could work.
The rumors are still going that they're going to do it. The rumor was 3, actually do a sequel instead of a remake, but who knows? I love Gremlins.
Yeah,
love it.
That could work. I mean, who doesn't love the Gremlins busting out and Hulk Hogan talking to the audience in the film and stuff like that?
As they don't CGI the Gremlins.
Oh, there he is! There he is!
Listen, brother. You better listen, brother.
Yeah. Gremlins as puppets rather than CGI. I think that would work.
It has to. I would hope if they're doing it's puppets. They probably go CG though. Unfortunately, which just would ruin it for me. But That's one of the things that's awesome about it. Is it was all puppets.
I think if they did a mixture of it, it could really work. Like
Yeah,
if they
mixture
had,
would be good.
because the puppetry these days is ridiculous anyway. But like if they had some CGI in it, and I think if they went all CGI, it would take some of the charm away from it. And that's kind of, there's a lot of those films where you kind of forgive it because it's that. Whereas if it's CGI, you're kind of like unforgiving that it's that's not real. There's it doesn't look real, sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean that gets us nicely to the end of the podcast. You've made it through, Mark. Well done. I'd just like to say no. Thanks for joining us on the show this week.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And let's well, I mean, come on, need to show this guy some love. Go to find his YouTube channel. Is it Corn Shack Gaming, right?
It's Corn Shack Gaming.
So
yes.
Corn, and then the basketball player Shack Gaming.
Yes. SHAQ.
As you do.
There we go. Right then, well, let's wrap this up. So if you'd like to take part in this conversation, you can either post on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/GameOverYear.
You can tweet us using @GoVR, and you can also follow us on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/GoVR.
And you can subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/user/GameOverYearUK. And you can drop us an email if you want to on contact us at gameoveryear.net.
And don't forget the most important place, which is our website, which is gameoveryear.net. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, Game over, yeah.
Success.